Good evening. Tonight, we turn our attention to a revelation that has quietly reshaped one of the most talked about storylines in the 90-Day Fiancé universe. On The Single Life, viewers were finally given clarity, after weeks of speculation, about the true relationship status of Cortney and Colt. What many expected to be a straightforward update instead unfolded as a complex portrait of uncertainty, emotional distance, and unresolved expectations. This is not simply a dating update. It is a deeper look at how reality television frames intimacy, vulnerability, and closure. A relationship that sparked immediate curiosity. When Cortney and Colt first appeared together on The Single Life, the pairing immediately raised eyebrows among longtime fans of the franchise. Both entered the show carrying public histories, past relationships that were scrutinized, debated, and often criticized. Their connection seemed unexpected, yet compelling. Viewers watched as casual conversations hinted at deeper interest, while moments of hesitation suggested something far more fragile beneath the surface. From the start, the question was clear. Was this real, or just temporary companionship? What the show actually revealed. In recent episodes, the show finally addressed the status of Cortney and Colt's relationship, though not in the way many viewers anticipated. Rather than confirming a committed partnership, the series revealed a lack of alignment between their expectations. On screen, it became apparent that one party appeared emotionally guarded. The other sought clarity and reassurance. Communication often stopped short of resolution. The reveal was not a dramatic breakup or romantic confirmation, but a recognition that the relationship existed in a state of uncertainty. Silence speaks louder than words. What stood out most was not what was said, but what was left unsaid. During conversations that could have defined their future, both Cortney and Colt hesitated. Avoided questions lingered. Emotional pauses replaced direct answers. Relationship experts note that this type of interaction often signals deeper incompatibility, not conflict, but misalignment. In serious terms, the show presented a relationship that may have already reached its natural limit, without either person explicitly acknowledging it. The role of the Single Life format. Unlike traditional 90-Day Fiancé seasons, The Single Life places its cast in a unique environment. There is no immediate pressure of visas, marriages, or relocation. Instead, the focus is on emotional readiness after past relationships. In that context, Cortney and Colt's storyline appeared less about finding love, and more about confronting personal patterns. This framing suggests the show was less interested in presenting them as a couple, and more interested in revealing where they stood individually. Public reactions: confusion, support, and skepticism. As the episodes aired, fan reactions quickly divided. Some viewers expressed empathy, noting the emotional restraint shown by both individuals. Others criticized the lack of transparency, arguing that the storyline felt incomplete. On social platforms, fans debated whether the relationship ever truly progressed beyond companionship. What united most reactions was one conclusion: the reveal was sobering, not celebratory. Emotional readiness under the microscope. Serious discussions emerged around emotional availability, particularly in post-relationship environments. Mental health professionals point out that reality television often exposes emotional readiness unintentionally. When participants struggle to articulate their needs, it reflects real-world challenges many viewers recognize. In this case, The Single Life portrayed two people navigating personal uncertainty rather than building something together. Editing, narrative, and reality. It's important to acknowledge the role of production. Reality television is constructed through editing, selective scenes, and narrative emphasis. What viewers see is shaped, not fabricated but curated. Still, the consistency of hesitation across episodes suggests the reveal was not accidental. The show appeared to signal, clearly but quietly, that Cortney and Colt were not moving forward as a couple, even if no explicit label was applied. Why the reveal matters. In a franchise known for dramatic engagements and explosive breakups, this storyline stood apart. It highlighted something less sensational but more realistic: relationships that fade without confrontation. For many viewers, this was more relatable than any televised proposal. Where things stand now. As of the most recent episodes, no commitment has been confirmed. No future plans have been announced. The relationship appears unresolved yet inactive. Rather than closure, the show delivered clarity through context. What this means for the franchise. This storyline reflects a subtle shift in 90 Day Fiancé storytelling, one that allows ambiguity to exist without forcing resolution. It suggests a more mature, if quieter, approach to relationship narratives. Closing. Tonight's revelation was not about romance fulfilled or love lost. It was about honesty, shown through hesitation, silence, and emotional distance. On the single life, Cortney and Colt's relationship status was revealed not through words, but through what never came to be. Tonight, we take a closer, more factual look at one of the most discussed developments in the single life: the revelation surrounding Cortney and Colt's relationship status. What viewers saw on screen was only part of the story. Behind the scenes, timelines, production choices, and cast behavior off-camera paint a much clearer and very different picture. This report focuses not on speculation or emotion, but on what was shown, when it was filmed, and what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. How the storyline was introduced. Cortney and Colt's interaction did not begin as a central storyline. According to episode sequencing, their connection appeared midway through the season, introduced quietly rather than as a major romantic arc. Unlike traditional couples on the franchise, they were not framed with dramatic build-up, music cues, or confessional emphasis. This signaled early on that producers may not have intended the relationship to progress long-term. Instead, it functioned as a transitional storyline, one meant to show both cast members navigating single life rather than forming a permanent bond. Filming timeline reveals key clues. Production timelines offer critical insight. Sources close to the show note that Cortney and Colt's scenes were filmed over a relatively short window compared to other cast interactions. Their appearances were also non-consecutive, suggesting limited off-camera contact. In reality television, sustained relationships are usually supported by multiple filming locations, follow-up confessionals, long gaps between episodes showing progression. None of these elements were present consistently in their storyline. This strongly indicates that the relationship did not advance beyond early-stage interaction during filming. What the single-life cameras did and did not capture. A major indicator of relationship status is what producers choose to show. In Cortney and Colt's case, there were no future planning discussions, no family involvement, no post-date debriefs indicating growth. Instead, scenes focused on casual meetings and surface-level interaction. Media analysts point out that when production avoids commitment-focused scenes, it usually reflects a lack of material to work with, not editorial bias. The reveal was structural, not verbal. Unlike many 90 Day Fiancé reveals, this one did not come through an announcement or confrontation. Instead, the reveal happened structurally. Their storyline quietly stopped advancing. Screen time decreased. Confessionals shifted focus to individual narratives. By the final episodes, the absence of progression served as the confirmation itself. In television storytelling, disappearance is often the clearest signal of conclusion. Post-filming activity adds context. After filming wrapped, neither Cortney nor Colt referenced each other in promotional interviews or online content tied to the show. This absence is notable. Cast members who maintain ongoing relationships typically defend them publicly, tease future developments, respond to fan speculation. The silence surrounding this pairing strongly suggests the relationship had already ended, or never fully existed, by the time episodes aired. Why the show framed it this way. Industry insiders say the single life has shifted toward realism over spectacle. Rather than forcing storylines to reach a dramatic conclusion, producers are allowing some connections to simply dissolve on screen, mirroring real-life dating outcomes. Cortney and Colt's situation fits this approach precisely. The show did not frame it as a failure, nor did it assign blame. It simply showed a connection that did not continue. Viewer interpretation versus production reality. Many viewers initially believed there was more happening off camera. However, production analysis suggests otherwise. What viewers perceived as unfinished was actually fully told, just not in the traditional dramatic format audiences expect from the franchise. This distinction is critical to understanding the reveal. What this means for both cast members. For Cortney, the storyline reinforced her independent arc, focused on personal freedom rather than long-term commitment. For Colt, it marked a clear departure from past relationship patterns often highlighted in earlier seasons. Rather than escalation, the show depicted restraint. The bigger picture for the franchise. This reveal reflects a broader evolution within 90 Day Fiancé programming. Producers appear more willing to show relationships that start casually, stall naturally, end quietly. This shift may not satisfy every viewer, but it represents a more authentic portrayal of modern dating. Final assessment. So what exactly was revealed? Not a breakup, not a relationship confirmation, not a scandal. The reveal was this: Cortney and Colt did not progress into a relationship worth continuing on camera. And that conclusion was delivered not through drama, but through absence, structure, and silence. Closing. Tonight's story reminds us that in reality television, what we don't see is often just as important as what we do. On The Single Life, Cortney and Colt's relationship status was revealed not by declaration but by conclusion. We will continue monitoring updates from the 90 Day Fiancé universe. Good night.